Welcome back to Off the Desk. Here we are. Steve and Tom, your hosts again. And it's, end of Feb now, and we thought it'd be a good timely time to just catch up together without anyone here as a guest to just talk through a bit about what we've noticed this year already. Cannot believe it's almost March already, which is crazy. And a bit of an outlook on this year. So welcome, Steve-O.
Love it. And what's ahead? Mate, straight into it. Where do we start? RBA maybe?
Yeah,
Housing market, very close to our hearts. A rate rise, I did not predict it. So I think even in the lead up, I was like, they won't go up. I think it was just wishful thinking. Every economist, every sign pointed to a rise. So, first rise there, talk of a couple more to come. But I think like you and I have seen it, January, February, like super strong in the housing market still for our area in particular in southeast Queensland. So no signs that it's pulling back the housing market. Like it'll be interesting to see how the CPI prints from here, if it's done the desired effect or if they have to go hard, and the sense is they just might go hard with more to come.
Yeah, I think you should have predicted it because when the big four all say, yep, it's going to rise for sure, then maybe just listen to them. But I know they can be wrong, but...
Okay, maybe not all four of them together. I was like, it's just over where they'd like the CPI to finish up, so surely.
Well, I think they learned from last time that they've got to act quickly, because we don't want what happened in the previous couple of years in the interest rate cycle to happen again. So I think if they move quick, then they can correct quickly, hopefully, so it won't have as many challenges moving forward.
Keep running, yeah. Well, that's what evidence is elsewhere, that if they go hard, lift them really aggressively, that subdues inflation quick enough so they don't have to do the steady lift and hold high for longer. So hopefully as a desired outcome, hopefully the chat now and people don't spend as much and then we're good to go. But there's a fair bit of government stimulation still going through, so time will tell.
And they're talking, one more raise this year? Hopefully.
Depends which one you read,
hopefully only one is what I meant. Yeah. Hopefully one, maybe two. So, that just, be aware. Things might change. Things might chop and change. Be talking to your bank or your broker if there's some rates out there that you're interested in locking in or don't spend every dollar you've got. Keep a bit of rainy day fund, a little bit in your piggy bank just for another day. So
100%. Yep. Mortgage repayments go up. That's the flow-on effect from this. So borrowing capacity's come down a little bit. Could put housing demand could slightly reduce. Housing supply could increase because people can't hang on anymore. So look, it might see prices level. We think there's still too much on the demand side for now for prices to level. So the expectation is that prices will probably keep rising in most areas, definitely in southeast Queensland for the coming 12 months, but we will see. And again, no advice, just one bloke's opinion in the corner here that we think there's enough evidence that house prices will continue.
Just a couple of blokes that think they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
Who knows?
Time will tell. We'll see how this ages. We'll come back to it in December for sure, and we'll be like, well, there you go. So time will tell.
Cool. And then what about the rest of the year? We're thinking economy-wise. We focus on SEQ, so sorry if you're outside of that, but what are we thinking for this year? What's in the horizon? Property growth, economy growth, where are we at?
Now, I think all signs point to growth. Yeah, again, Olympics on the horizon for us. We're going to be talking about that till 2032 and the aftermath there beyond. But infrastructure projects, still heaps going on in here in Brisbane. Everyone wants to live here because there's so much work here as well, and it's not rainy and cold all the time. Yeah, the weather's pretty good too. So I think if you move here, you stay. So as long as the work continues, and all signs point to that till 2032, then the demand for housing is going to increase. Developers are still having trouble with councils trying to get development projects out of the ground. Build prices are still expensive. So every sign points to more pressure on house prices for the rest of the year, probably in the lead up to the Olympics. So we probably need some fundamental changes for that to slow down.
Just before you said that supply might increase a bit because of interest rates, and now you're saying that there's still housing crisis. So why don't you just flesh that out a bit? Like, what do you mean by this and that?
So supply could increase if people can't afford to hang on to their properties anymore. So if mortgage pressure comes through, the relieving factor there is to sell and potentially downsize, move further out to try and reduce your mortgage cost. But supply could, alter a little bit. We think demand's just going to outrun it. So everything looks good. Southeast Queensland property market. Again, no advice. Geez, I better say that more often. But all signs point to, strong market ahead. Should I say that? Or
I don't think we need to say that every time.
No advice?
Because if we said it once, I think that covers it.
Yeah.
Hey, just so you know, in our podcast, we don't give personal advice.
We can't give personal advice, but reach out to us if you ever want. No, we can't give personal advice like that. Not our design. But anyway, we do look at the market a lot. looks pretty cool ahead. We're pretty pumped. Like I think 2026 cool year ahead. So
Yeah.
all good signs, mate. What else is on year ahead?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the little personal goals we've got, we often bring it back to that family, fitness, and finance concept. So we probably just touched on finance a little bit there, which is the fun and boring stuff to us, fun to everyone else, maybe boring.
Definitely.
But in regards to family, we're taking on to concepts of a bit more sprint ideas this year. So just to fill everyone in, we're going to sprint really hard in the business and in work and in everything else, and then we're going to take a couple of days off. And those couple of days off might surprise anyone, but it's Saturday and Sunday because we work a little bit. But the idea is to go away a little bit with our family. We've both got young kids to, do something for 12 weeks and just absolutely go as hard as you can, and then have a long weekend away at the coast or camping or something like that to recharge, get a bit of family time. And I think it was your idea originally, which has come from that dude that does the big calendar.
Jesse Itzler.
Thank you.
It was again, looking at a video of his away for like a little bit of headspace time in December at the beach, and I saw him talk about a couple of things he runs his year on. Misogi was one of them. Like, what's the big year-defining event or moment for your year? So, like, trying to reflect on that. End of February's here, still 10 months to go. So if you haven't already, like, what's your Misogi? What's your year-defining moment? And then, which I'm probably pronouncing incorrectly, it's a Japanese word. So anyway,
sounds pretty good.
You'll get the message. Next thing he said was this concept of Jeff's rule or Jeff's law or Jeff's idea.
Is it Kevin?
Kevin.
I think it's Kevin.
Kevin's rule. Look, we can call it Kevin or Jeff. So maybe ask me Jeff. So Kevin's rule. It actually definitely is Kevin. So he was Jesse's mate, and his idea was if you take a day holiday every 2 months, that's 6 extra adventures a year. And if you're 30, by the time you're 80, that's 300 extra adventures for, hopefully that maths, 300 extra adventures you've done in your lifetime that you wouldn't have otherwise done. So it resonated, because 2025, like for us, was probably way too much into the finance and business side from that balance. So trying to get that balance right with family, fitness, finance again was the idea of having these moments where it was locked in the calendar that we were going away, and like you appropriately laughed at, they're weekends. So
yes.
It's time we should be doing anyway that often is filled with work or other activities. So
I call the year of our 2025 the white knuckle year.
Yes,
it's like rip it and grip it, and that was our year.
And we just went hard. So, and I think awesome to get through that. Let's try and find the balance between those couple of events. So
which might not be this year.
Might not be.
We're trying to work it out.
We
don't know what the balance is, but really like the concept of sprints.
And so those sprints line up nicely with those adventures that we have with the family. So we know we've got these little family adventures lined up throughout the year that we've put dates in, and like we are pedantic and diarise everything. If it's not in the calendar, it's not going to happen. So we've got dates in, commitments to our wives and our children that these things will happen. So it's real. We've committed to it, and I think it's a special aspect of this year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 100%. Mine's this weekend. I'm pretty excited. So going away to the Goldie for a couple of nights. So
good.
Don't tell anyone, but I'll be there. And then fitness-wise, so family, super important. Sprints. So sprints probably cover like business, obviously is our bread and butter, keeps the roof over our head, keeps us going. And then the sprint to get to the break with the family, which is really important. So we're going to spend more time, kids, wives, be present, which is going to be great. And then fitness is, often just bringing those 3 Fs around that we always talk about. I've got a couple of different goals this year. Actually, they're pretty similar to last year, but to do better.
Yeah.
One of them's High Rocks. I'm a big fan of High Rocks. The way you always know if someone does High Rocks is they'll tell you about it. It's like the old CrossFit rule. How do you know someone does CrossFit? They'll tell you about it. Yeah, that's the new High Rocks. That's the new CrossFit. It's High Rocks. It's awesome. If you don't know it, Google it. It's an exercise of some kind with weights and then a kilometre run. An exercise and then kilometre run. They do that 8 times over. So 8 Ks in total. It's usually in an awesome area, like in Brisbane. It's in the Brisbane Convention Centre, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool environment. Pretty awesome event. So I did that last year. I've done it twice actually. Last year, I think, or 2 years in a row. So this will be my 3rd year. So hopefully I can continue to improve my time. We have an older brother, Breno, which we mentioned on the podcast before. He did it for fun last year and almost beat my time. Hardly trained, and he's now training for this year. So I'm super nervous that he's going to beat me because he just picked something up, and his endurance and toughness is second to none. So Hopefully I beat him.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Closet athlete. I reckon he's got you.
You
He has done one marathon in his life, and he did that when he was 18 and got just just under 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And it took me 5 years to hit that time with incredible amounts of training. So I've put some distance in it now. So if he comes back, he's going to have to work pretty hard. But yeah, it took...
Would he work pretty hard?
No. Took 3:27, I reckon he did it, or 3:28. So
Yeah.
and with one go, one and done. So yeah, I think he's got it in him. So I reckon he dusts your time, and then you'll pursue that for 5 years. I reckon.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, and he'll move on.
He'll move
Something
on.
else.
Yeah, he's done it. He's had his fun and ruined your adventure, and then he'll go. So
Yeah, and then not long after that, I'm doing a Spartan race, which is the 21 kilometer, 30 obstacles. Last year I did it for the first time. It was awesome fun. It's where you can actually enjoy your fitness. So you're climbing over walls, you're picking up sandbags, you're jumping through mud, and you're running up and down hills. And it's. I mean, if that's your cup of tea, it's not everyone's. I get it, but if you're in relatively good shape and you want to go have fun with your fitness, I say, then Spartans, they're awesome. Yeah, I did. I think 3.5 to 4 hours or something was the sort of time that I was at. Anyway, my older brother again, Breno, is doing it with me, so. Hopefully we can just do it side by side and he doesn't completely school me on it, but we'll see.
Chance he might. Actually, he'll enjoy side by side, but
yeah, I think so.
He'll do it and he'll chat to you the whole time because
Yeah.
it won't exhaust him like it does everyone else.
I'll be cooked. I'll be like, stop talking.
100%. So, how good.
And then I've recently bought a bike, a road bike, a bicycle. Not a cool Harley or anything, just one of those bicycle dudes. And I've got the full Lycra kit, which is really cool, obviously. And I walk around with skin tight stuff on that everyone loves to see. And the dream of that is to one day do an Ironman. So I haven't said that on the pod yet, and I'm just going to throw it out there because then it's real. My goal is to do it before I'm 40. I'm 34 at the moment, so 6 years is way too long, but I need to give myself a little bit of breathing room because apparently an Ironman's pretty hard, especially when you haven't ridden a bike before. And I definitely do not swim in a pool. I can swim to save myself, but I don't swim in the pool or open water. I can run a little bit though, so that already helps. But the idea is that I'm going to train on the bike this year and get used to that and have fun, which I've started doing to and from work, and it really hurts and it's really time consuming. And it turns out sitting on a bike and pedaling is wildly hard after an hour or 2 hours. I used to run all the time and see these dudes on their bikes zip past me and I'd be like, you lazy, you're sitting down doing nothing. They're doing lots.
They're doing lots.
Yeah, and it's really hard.
And it's not like cycling when you're a kid when you just
Correct.
jump on a bike. That's your memory of cycling.
It is.
Just like jump on it, it's easy. Yeah, it's not that anymore.
Yeah, much more. So get used to the bike this year, and I'm thinking about doing something at the end of the year, maybe like, I don't know what you call them, Olympic distances or whatever, like the Mooloolaba Tri or one of those, which might just give me a little intro.
Yeah, the little bus next month, so I don't think you'll do that. So probably Noosa in the end of the year.
Yeah, right.
Which is probably sold out, so you probably missed the boat on
Sick.
those
I could do
two.
my own, right? Like, you
could
go
do
to a
your
pool,
100%.
get a bike, do a run.
Yep, which I have done in the past, where you do
Cool.
that. Yeah, 1.5K in a pool, 40Ks on the bike, and a 10K run to finish. That's
Is that
the
what it
Olympic
is?
distance. Yeah. So
Okay.
do that 3 hours maybe. Yep. See how you go
Sounds all right.
from a fitness perspective.
Haven't
so.
swum much, but I'm sure I could.
Sure,
Doggy
work that
paddle
out as
that or-
well. Yeah. Yep. I think that'll be the most eye-opening for you. Yeah, the bike part is one thing, but I think the cardio fitness is there for you. Swimming's different from a breathing perspective, just from a,
Oh, you got to breathe?
you got to breathe and you
Yep.
got to get used to breathing and slow your heart rate down as you get into the pool for the first time. So
Right.
I like that you've got 6 years. Hopefully you don't have 6, but anyway, we'll see. And I think the older brother wants to do it as well, so
Yeah.
it might be a little Kelly Brothers event.
He goes, yeah, I'm thinking about doing an Ironman this year. I'm like, do you have a bike? He's like, nah. And I was like, you're going to need one, bro. And he goes, oh, I think I'll just get one of those trainers at home where I can just, like a gym bike where I just pedal at home. And I'm like, yeah, but you're going to need one for the race. He goes,
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to do an Ironman this year, thank goodness.
That's good. I don't think he's been in the pool either. So
No, yeah,
he's hoping, But again, he surfs, so there's probably some natural strength there. But
What about you, man?
I like it. Yeah,
What's on the menu?
100Ks next month, 21st of March. I'll be up at Noosa again. First time I've done an event twice.
Oh, yeah.
Of all the running events, Noosa will be the first time, and it was probably like my most disappointing performance of a finish out of any of the events I've done.
Why was it disappointing?
It took longer than it should have.
Okay.
So-
Longer than it should have in your head?
In my
Or-
head, 100%. It was like a very tough event because it had rained significantly 2 years ago in the lead up, and there was points in the middle of the night when should have been already finished, when I was like knee deep in mud, and I was kind of laughing at myself for like, why am I doing this all by myself? And am I on the right track? Because it's the middle of the night, I'm in the middle of the bush, knee deep in mud. So there's a lot of self-reflecting through those moments, which is like a lot of the reason we pursue these type of events. It's for that self-reflecting moment, putting yourself in something uncomfortable optionally isn't
Yep.
sought out by everyone. So I think, there was moments in there where I was like, I could do this faster if I was better trained, had my nutrition on point, and I think just more mentally ready. So I want to test that this year, 2 years later, back for a bit of redemption.
Yep.
I think I did it in 16 hours 2 years ago, so pursuing closer to 12, which is hilarious. But, if I end up at 14 hours, I'd be pretty happy. So I think the fitness level's there.
Yep.
This year, a lot more running than I have done previously, just in the to and from work every day. So I think the fitness level's there for it. So I'm pretty pumped. It is my B race. So for those who plan their years, B race is kind of like your test race, your pre to the A race.
Right.
My A
100
race,
kilometre is your B race.
is my warm-up race, just to get a feel for where I'm at. So the A race is the 100 miles in June, which is my Musogi. So if I finally finish 100 miles this year, fourth attempt, that will define my year. So a very ambitious goal again. 13th of June, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm hitting out another 100 miles. Same one tried to do last year.
The rail.
Brisbane Valley Rail Trail, 100
Yep.
miles. A very flat one. So like an easier 100 miles without the hills that the rest of them tend to have. So I'm hoping that leads me in there. And again, a good hit out in Noosa, and then I'll keep building. I'm doing high rocks. With Dad, so we're doing doubles. So that'll be just for a hit out.
Nice.
Bit of fun there.
Yeah. That'd be a good laugh.
It'll be a laugh.
Dad will have fun with it, yeah.
Dad is a good runner, so yeah, we'll see how we go. Neither of us are super confident about how much we have to lift, because I've done only running this year, so no strength work whatsoever. So I think we've got to push a sled for part of it. That one is going to break us, I think. So,
Yeah,
and that's nice and
kilos.
early as well.
150 kilos.
150 kilos. So
Sled.
I do remember pushing that last year, and I'd done some gym work in the lead up, and it was very heavy. So
Yeah.
I expect it to be even heavier this year, because I'm not ready for it. But yeah, the goal will be that. And then all going well, there's another 100k race in the back of the year that I might just tag on just for the fun of it. So
Just for why not?
that's the plan. As you
Yeah.
do. Like another 100, to close out. Blackhawk, that's like my favourite one I've done so far. I'd love to do that as a second hit out.
Most people train their whole lives to do 100 kilometre race, or even like one marathon, 100 kilometre, and you're doing a 100 kilometre, 100 mile, and 100k.
That's the
potentially.
plan. Yep, we'll see how we go.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, I
Big
mean,
year
that's good. It's good to have those personal goals in mind when we're doing this every day in, day out. Without those things that drive you, why set that alarm at 4 a.m? Why get up at the crack of dawn to go and train when you've got no goals or no events coming up? I need the events. I don't know if you do, but
Yeah, I like them. I think it's more of like a test of the work you're doing. I can enjoy the training. I don't think you can do what level of training that like you and I do if you don't enjoy the training.
Yeah.
Like you've got to enjoy that process as well. But you're right, you don't hit snooze when you know that event's coming up. So just that little bit extra motivation and that chance to showcase the skill set as well. And like you put yourself in those long distance races in particular, like that chosen suffering where you put yourself into a point where you can't do that all the time. Like it's not a place you can go every day. Like it's a real test of where you are.
Yeah,
where you're
kind of. I don't know. Kind of makes me feel sick a little bit.
Yeah, or like ready
In
to
those
go again,
100
or ready to do it.
Nah, man.
Yeah, there's a back end like 80 odd Ks in where you're like, my goodness, what am I doing? And I think that's the mental barrier to break through the 100 miles is like you're halfway. Whereas on 100k, you hit the 80 and you're like 20 to go. I've got like half marathon. I got this. Whereas the mental state of like I'm halfway and it's all falling apart is like one to work through. So I'm excited about yet again another chance.
One to work through, yeah.
To try and because you're going to get like it's a very long time period.
Yeah.
And there's going to be lows and there's going to be really big highs. You just got to be talking to yourself through those moments.
Well, good on you, man.
Keep going.
Yeah. I don't know how many people listen to this that have done ultras, but hopefully someone will now that they've listened to it.
They like step by step. We didn't start overnight.
Yeah.
They didn't have done yet. I don't know how many marathons, how many triathlons. Like it's one of those ones you build up to hopefully.
Yeah.
Or you just go like David Goggins, you just do it. Like turn up to a track and run it.
Yeah.
Do 100 miles in one go. Yeah.
Which you could do, yeah.
Whatever you choose to
When
do.
he turned up to that 1 kilometre track to
like
qualify.
3 days later.
Yeah.
And with no running experience. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if he can do that, surely I can run 100 miles after all this
Surely.
training. So, come on.
We'll
Let's go.
see. Yeah. And when you're running, do you listen to anything? Are you a music man, a podcast man?
No, nothing on my to and from work ones, but on the long runs of the weekend, often a podcast or a bit of music.
When you're
To and
from work?
nothing.
Just silence.
Silence. And I'll often do the long run silence as well. Like, again, a bit of a David Goggins shout out. It's like, if you need the music, like the door kicks down, or if you need the music to motivate you, like, you need to work on yourself. Maybe that's too much.
That's like that moderation is for cowards.
Maybe we'll clip this. But if it's the music that drives you, then maybe you need to work on the internal. I'm always trying to work on the internal because there's a lot going on in there. So, but nothing to and from work. Quite like it. Yeah, it's time for me to think and come up with great work ideas. Or often I'll like solve like tricky transactions or work aspects whilst I'm running in silence. But then for the long runs, often podcasts, a lot of modern wisdom.
Modern wisdom?
The go-to for sure, yep. Chris Williamson, what a legend. Or definitely some music, mate. So, rotate between two very odd genres for people to think about, either like emo punk or country. So it's either one of the two. So that's my two genres that I will rotate between. So
they're pretty different.
They are different,
when you think about it.
And the country part's quite like peaceful when you run through the bush, but every now and then you need like a bit of scream or emo to get through the deep parts of the run. So I'll flop between the two, depending on how I'm feeling. But often I'll start with the podcast and I'll work the music later when I need if it's getting, or I'll go silent for a bit, like honestly as well. So it's I'll just stop when I think I'm too reliant on it.
Man,
as I said that out loud, I'm like, you're a psycho. But I think everyone knows that already, so nothing new there.
Be hard to live in your head, I reckon.
Sometimes. It is.
Yeah.
I can tell you first.
Yeah. I'm a podcast man, I even driving or running or anything, I can't sit in silence. I don't like to sit in silence. I don't know if I can't, but sometimes we drive with you and you don't turn the radio on or Spotify or anything and we sit there in silence driving.
I never listen to music in the car.
Freaks me out,
Never. If I'm driving session by myself, never. Nah, good time for thinking.
This is a real get to know Steve kind of podcast. He's a crazy dude.
I know, I forgot how weird that is. No, I just think there's too much going on sometimes.
Too much input.
So I need some silence to think. Like we have our jobs are pretty stressful and there's a lot of input coming in. So if there's moments where I can sit there without much input, I think it's kind of handy to work through it. Because otherwise I feel like you do it, the only time the silence hits is when you put your head on the pillow, and that's the worst time to try and work through all of that input.
Because then you're trying to compartmentalize, figure out.
You're spinning too much. So I need points in the day where I can unpack so that I'm not unpacking on the pillow.
Geez, that's deep,
Something
man.
to think about.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I might consider that. No, I do like a stretching routine before bed for like 20 minutes most nights.
Nice.
I was going to say every night, but I'm not going to lie to anyone here.
Good.
Most nights. And that's my unpacking, figuring out, because then I can go to bed without.
Yeah, I like it.
Because I think you need that in the day, whether it's afternoon, nighttime, morning, whatever it is.
Sometime, we try, especially, and I'm not a social media guy, but if you are getting that.
You're on social media a lot.
Oh, thank you. As a presence, But I think that dopamine aspect as well has driven up that level of
you need to be stimulated.
So the stimulation's so high. So we need time to unpack.
Yeah.
More than ever.
The podcast I'm listening to at the moment is Modern Wisdom for sure. Diary of the CEO, both very good quality podcasts that I enjoy. I used to listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. Don't hate me for that, but I don't much anymore. Mark Burris does a couple of cool podcasts. I don't know. I'm just throwing out recommendations now for everyone.
Promoting everyone. Maybe they're future guests for Off the Desk.
Yeah,
I think Chris Williamson's probably got a bit of.
Well, he's doing a tour around the country soon, so we could probably whack him on as a guest.
Yep.
I'll send a note.
Yep.
Mark Burris does a Straight Talk with Mark Burris, I think it's called, and the other one is 100. Project 100. Jeez, that took me a while. Yeah, which is Project 100 is quite an interesting one. It's all about longevity, about doing what you can now to make sure you live well in your later life, not just to live old, but to live well. I think is the key that he does. He wants to live to 100, but still be able to play with his grandkids and great-grandkids and all that. That's Project 100, where the name came from. And it's quite interesting. He basically gets the best on and talks through different minute aspects around your body, whether it's your brain health or your gut health or your stretching, mobility, all sorts of different stuff. He talks about how important each aspect is. So I enjoy that sort of stuff, and I sort of go into two modes, right? When I'm keen to better myself, I'm listening to Modern Wisdom, Diary CEO, Mark Burris, and when I just want to enjoy my life for a little bit, I just consume NRL podcasts like there's no tomorrow.
Which is most of your time.
Which I actually
NRL podcasts.
Now that it's the season's ramping up, it's so much NRL podcasts out there. The bloke did a couple weeks ago, Bloke in the Bar, did a 7-hour season preview podcast, which I absolutely listen to every single second of that. Glorious stuff. Yeah, I recommend it.
7 hours, like 1.5 times, or you just on like?
No, only this year I've gone to 1.3 times.
Oh, okay.
From one.
Wow.
And now listen to one, it's like it's in slow-mo.
Yeah.
But listen to us in one because we talk fast enough. So
Or honestly, 1.5, what a float. Or 0.75 if you really want to absorb every sort of piece of it.
And rewind as well. And watch it a few times.
Yeah.
Listen to a few times.
Well, man, massive like NRL for you. I'm excited for the year ahead.
Yeah.
We're located office now in Paddington, which is where we're having this lovely podcast. Big news, a little, I guess it's old news now, a little while ago, but Big Haas.
Yep.
Devo.
Yeah, well, the dust has settled a little bit on that. Absolutely devastating. Yeah, when I first heard it, I was like, you're wrong. Yeah, and I get news like push notifications about NRL, especially about Broncos on the old phone.
So is it like a morning wake up?
Nah.
When did it hit?
Mate, I'll never forget where I was when the news broke about Payne Haas. And I had just driven back. Grace and I went to the coast for one of her friend's first birthdays. We'd just driven straight back and we were at Sushi Train.
Nice. I assume it was her kid's first birthday, not her friend.
Oh, yeah. Her friend's kid.
Cool.
First her friend's kid's first birthday.
Yeah, not her friend's first birthday.
With our kids, it was a bit of a drive.
Sick.
And, we drove straight, we were hungry, so we drove straight to Sushi Train and we were sitting there and then all of a sudden, bang. And I was hungry as, very upset.
Yeah. Tears in the eye sort of stuff.
Pretty much. And I just said to Grace, I just need some time. So I went outside, read about it a bit. For real. I was like, just I had to step away. It's like someone passed away or something.
Yeah.
And I read about it a bit and I went to a few different sources to see if it was like legit. And
it's happening. Yeah.
It was happening. So, look, I think now that some water on the bridge a little bit, time's done. I think it makes this year really special, especially with A-Ray now. Reynolds announcing his retirement at the end of the season. I think it's really like this is another really good reason for us to all wake up this year and go, well, let's do back-to-back. I know it was probably always on their mind, of course, but now it's like there's real reasons to do that. And I think with us now being in Paddington and being their number one fans, they're going to live for us as well. Hopefully. But
I'm waiting for you to buy another jersey to put on the wall because you bought last year's jersey in March super boldly.
Yeah, it's all signed and everything.
All signed and it turned out to be premiership winning jersey. So maybe that's the key. You just got to buy a jersey in March and we'll win the premiership.
Done. I'll do that, Steve. I'm excited. Line it up, man.
I'm excited.
It's gone on the business, but yeah.
No, it's not. But sad news about Payne. I think it's like...
It is. Yeah.
It's a Devo one for the Broncos. He'd stay in the game at least. So I guess at least NRL's not losing the talent because that was probably the biggest risk is that he goes to rugby or someone else to make more money, which he probably still may do and could do. So it'll be interesting to see,
The sentiment around the game is that he can. He's done a lot of stuff in the game, and if he wants to go make his money, we get it. That's why I just don't get going to Souths. But anyway, it is what it is.
Water on the bridge.
The reality is that he was a New South Welshman. He doesn't belong here anyway.
I knew you'd get
he
there.
can go.
He's dead to me.
He is absolutely dead to me. But please win us a premiership this year, Payno, and then see you later, mate. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my thoughts.
Yeah, like a bit of cap room comes out of it. Can you replace a Payne Haas? No. So I think we'll feel it, but let's hope there's a lot of good forwards coming through. No shortage of good forwards coming through the Broncos.
Heaps.
And as long as Walshy does his thing, man, we're sweet. So
up the Bronx.
Let's go, Walshy.
All right, that might do us, eh? Yeah, finish on a high. Up the Bronx. 2026 premiers. You heard it here first. Have a good day, everyone, and thanks for listening.
Adios.